Sabalenka claws past Siegemund to reach semifinals. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka narrowly avoided a seismic shock as she fought back to beat Laura Siegemund and claw her way into the Wimbledon semifinals. Title favorite Sabalenka had to twice come back from a breakdown in the deciding set to beat the 37-year-old German 4-6, 6-2, 6-4. Sabalenka has reached the final of the past 3 majors and, with most of her rivals falling in the first week of SW19, she has an incredible chance of reaching Saturday's showpiece. But few would have predicted the scare that Siegemund, who had previously never gone beyond the second round in singles here, came within touching distance of completing. World number 104 Siegemund, more noted for her doubles prowess, drove Sabalenka to distraction with her slices, brilliant returning, and slow pace of play. It took all of Sabalenka's grit and determination to hang in and eventually advance after 2 hours and 54 minutes. After the first set, I was looking at my box and thinking, "Book the tickets, we are about to leave," Sabalenka, 27, said. I had to make sure I didn't show I was annoyed by her. Even if I was slightly, I didn't want to give her that energy. Belarusian Sabalenka will face 13th seed Amanda Anisimova for a place in a first Wimbledon final after the American beat Russian Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova 6-1, 7-6, 11-9. There was barely any part of the match on a sun-drenched center court that was enjoyable for Sabalenka. Siegemund previously described her own game style as annoying, and the frustration was written all over Sabalenka's face as she spent nearly 3 hours chasing down drop shots and slices. There were helpless looks towards her box, chuntering when she missed a vital point, and a huge roar when she finally got the best of her opponent. But Sabalenka has said she is making a conscious effort to stay calmer on court, and it is credit to her that she never lost control or gave up. She said afterwards that she had learnt from her French Open final loss to Coco Gauff, adding, "I think there's a big possibility that I would have lost this match if I didn't learn that lesson. I'm really proud that I handled myself really well and didn't repeat the same mistake I did at the French Open." Nothing should take away from how brilliant Siegemund was. She stepped forward to the Sabalenka serve, taking it on early, and chopped her way through her opponent's huge ground strokes. Sabalenka held serve just once in the opening set, and even that required 3 deuce games, and quickly found herself a double breakdown. She rescued one as Siegemund served for the first set at 5-2, but slapped a return into the net to concede the opener in 57 minutes. Sabalenka immediately left the court to reset herself, and it seemed to have worked. She broke straight away for a 2-0 lead but, visibly unsettled, conceded it in the next game. The match could have slipped away in Sabalenka's next service game as she was taken from 40-0 to deuce, but roared on by the crowd, she held, then won 4 games in a row to force a decider. An early break to love in the third set, secured on a brilliant passing winner from Siegemund, looked to have rattled Sabalenka. She should have broken back in the next game, but ended up falling to her knees at the net, arms outstretched as she sent the passing shot wide to go 3-1 down. In a nervy ending, Sabalenka broke back, immediately conceded it, and then capitalized as Siegemund served to stay in the match, ultimately securing victory with a relieved-looking smash at the net. It doesn't matter if you are a big hitter or a big server. You have to work, run, and earn the victory, Sabalenka added. It is tough, but beautiful. Nephew steals the show in Anisimova win. In the day's other women's quarterfinal, the show was stolen at the end when Anisimova picked up her young nephew Jackson and walked hand-in-hand with him across Court 1 to do her on-court interview. She will have been relieved to have been able to do that for him as an early birthday present after a late wobble in her match against Pavlyuchenkova. The American had been cruising, taking the opening set in 27 minutes and going a breakup for 4-2 in the second. But she then started making things complicated for herself, missing 2 match points at 5-4, and then finding herself in a tiebreak where she had to save 5 set points before eventually sealing the win. She promptly fell face first towards the grass in delight as she reached her first Wimbledon semi-final.